My sister kept a stopwatch around her neck for 15 years to make sure our parents loved us equally. Then she brought her spreadsheets to my wedding. When I was 10, Gina bought a matching set of digital stopwatches. Now we can make sure everything is fair, she announced. She explained her new system where every interaction with our parents would be timed and logged. Phone calls, hugs, conversations, even eye contact had to be tracked. Our parents laughed nervously but went along with it to avoid her tantrums. Gina wore her stopwatch on a lanyard and clicked it constantly. Click when dad said good morning to me. Click when mom asked about my day. She'd interrupt dinner to announce her running tally. Mom spent 43 minutes on her today and only 37 on me. You owe me 6 minutes of undivided attention. Then she'd sit between mom and me on the couch with a timer running until the numbers matched. She made our parents sign weekly reports acknowledging the time distribution, and if I got even 1 minute more, she'd have a screaming breakdown about being unloved. Every interaction I had with my parents was poisoned by that stopwatch. Dad would hug me while watching Gina's timer over my shoulder. Mom would cut conversations short, saying, "I need to save some words for your sister." I learned to reject their affection just to prevent Gina's rage. When Dad offered to teach me to drive, I said no, because Gina calculated it would be 30 hours she'd demand in return. She'd make him sit in her room doing nothing just to even the score, and I couldn't do that to him. When I got engaged at 26, Gina calculated that wedding planning would create what she called massive attention debt. She showed up to our parents' house with a fresh spreadsheet and announced every phone call about the dress, every conversation about flowers, every minute mom spends helping with seating charts goes on the ledger. She started timing my calls with mom and texting me invoices. 47 minutes discussing venues. You now owe me 47 minutes of service. She demanded equal involvement in every wedding decision, even though she had no interest in actually helping. She just wanted to be present so the minutes counted for her too. When I told her she couldn't come to my dress fitting, she called our parents sobbing that I was stealing the wedding experience from her. Mom begged me to just let Gina come. Please, it's easier if you just include her. You know how she gets. Dad said the same thing. Just give her what she wants so we can have some peace. But I was done. For the first time in my life, I told Gina no. I told her the stopwatch system was over and I wasn't playing anymore. She got very quiet and said, "You're going to regret that. I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are." I didn't know what she meant until the wedding day. The ceremony was beautiful. The reception was perfect. Then during dinner, right before the father-daughter dance, Gina stood up and clinked her glass. She was holding a thick folder and her stopwatch was hanging around her neck like always. "I have an announcement," she said loudly enough for all 150 guests to hear. "My sister owes me 4,847 hours of parental attention." She opened the folder and started reading from her spreadsheets. Since 1995, she has systematically stolen love from me. Every hug, every phone call, every minute our parents spent on her was a minute taken from me. The room went dead silent. My husband grabbed my hand under the table. Guests were looking around trying to figure out if this was some kind of joke. "I'm demanding that the father-daughter dance be cut short," Gina continued, "or matched with equal time for me. That's only fair." She looked at our dad expectantly, stopwatch ready in her hand. Dad stood up slowly. His face was red and his hands were shaking. "Gina, sit down. Not until you acknowledge the debt. I have the numbers right here. 15 years of data proving that you loved her more and you owe me everything. I'm done." Dad's voice echoed through the reception hall. "I am done being timed. I am done being measured. I am done watching you turn our family into a math problem." Gina's mouth fell open. Dad had never raised his voice at her in his entire life. "You want to know why we spent more time with your sister? Because she let us love her without making us punch a clock. You didn't want love, Gina. You wanted a receipt." Gina started screaming that he was proving her point, that he'd always loved me more, that she had the spreadsheets to prove it. Two of my husband's groomsmen walked over and gently took her arms. She thrashed and kicked as they escorted her toward the exit, still screaming about stolen minutes and attention debt. The folder of spreadsheets scattered across the dance floor, 15 years of calculations spreading under the tables like confetti. Dad found me outside crying. He pulled me into a hug without checking his watch.